Hi, my name is Don Lovato Jr. I grew up in Milan, New Mexico. I work as president for Carpet Source, which is based in Albuquerque and soon to be in Austin, Texas. We offer a very unique service for New Mexico. It's probably, I didn't invent it. It probably came out of somewhere in the Midwest or East Coast. It's called a shop at home service for floor coverings, which would be wood flooring, tile flooring, stone flooring, carpeting, which is a big chunk of our business, and even laminate and luxury vinyl flooring for residential replacement and even for some commercial jobs. We do about 80-20, about 80% residential and about 20% commercial. And so that's the service that we offer. And when I say shop at home, what I mean by that is we have mobile showrooms. So these vehicles have showrooms in them. We call them mobile showrooms, and all the samples of the most highly used products in Albuquerque. And then when we deploy someone to go do an estimate, the client doesn't have to come out to a showroom. We provide the showroom on the spot. We ask them a lot of questions, bring the products in based on their answers, and budget, et cetera. And then we'll show them the appropriate flooring. We'll measure it with lasers. We use a software program, similar to a CAD program, an estimating software, and we kick out a quote within 60, sometimes 45 minutes to maybe 90 minutes. We kick out a printed quote right there on the spot, which is really unique, and there is no one that does it the way we do in the US, as far as I know. When I was in high school, I was in ROTC, and that was really, really a good influence on me. I already had discipline, but it taught more discipline, more structure. It taught leadership, initiative, all those kinds of things, good judgment, etc. And by learning those things, it really helped me when I went to Marine Corps boot camp. And so, in fact, if you spend I believe it's, well, in those days, 3 years or 4 years in ROTC, and then you join the Marine Corps, after you finish boot camp, you automatically get a stripe because you already have a leg up, if you will, which means a promotion, more leadership opportunity, as well as more income. And then from the Marine Corps, this is kind of a long story. From the Marine Corps, I had planned to be a lifer, in fact, but it didn't work out because I was deploying a lot. And so, and I had a family, so I had to kind of consider that. And so I didn't want to leave them behind, right? So I called my uncle. Actually, I called my dad and I asked him for some advice. And he gave me some advice. And he said my uncle was looking for someone in flooring who had already at that time, this was probably 1992. And he had already been in the business probably 35 years at that point, 37 years at that point. I believe he started like in 1960, something like that. Anyway, really early on. And so he was looking for someone to help him out. I was living in San Diego and he was in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And he said, hey, there's a really good opportunity for you here. So if you'd like, you can come over and your personality would work well with who I'm looking for. So I came out, we got started, and I worked for him for a couple of years, and then I went off on my own in Albuquerque because he was up in Santa Fe. And I went on my own this June 23rd, which will mark my 30th year in the industry and about my 24th year in business on my own. Two things, teachers and students. So students, I tended to get along and still do get along with everybody. Back in those days, now we're talking 1980s, we had the jocks, we had the rockers, we had the, I don't know what they call them anymore, the popular crowd and the others. And so I just kind of got along with everybody. Those people skills will pay dividends in your life moving forward. If you tend to isolate yourself with people that are just like you or tend to alienate others, whatever you want to call that, you can limit yourself. You can kind of pigeonhole yourself. So there are a lot of people, with a lot of backgrounds and a lot of personalities that you can actually get along with really well. And just because you don't agree doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong and you're right, or vice versa. So I tended to get along with everyone really well. And later on, that paid dividends because it taught me to get along with all kinds of different people, because guess what? You can't exactly pick your clients, and the customers pay the bills. So you have to be able to get along with a wide variety of people, and that could be employees, that could be vendors, that could be manufacturers reps, that could be installers, in that category. It can be clients. It's just all over the place. So that people skills is really, really important. The other one would be teachers. Now, some people are teachers and they do the work and they do a fine job, and then others just are passionate about it and they love it and they love people and they love building up kids. And I do remember when I was in ROTC starting in, I think it was 1982, my Lieutenant Colonel Robeson, he was so inspiring and he believed in me. And it was really interesting. It's not that I didn't have people not believing in me necessarily, but they didn't say it. And they didn't build me up and tell me all the quality things I needed to hear to give me the confidence I needed to be able to take that on later and use it while I spent my 4-year tour in the Marine Corps and also in business later. That just those few wise words of wisdom and the inspiration and the belief that he had in me, it actually helped me. I think about it almost every day. It really helped me a lot. Don't worry about making mistakes. Make sure that you make a little bit of a plan, a general overview, and then you go a direction. You don't want to just be shooting in the dark, right? Per se. But I would say definitely don't overthink it. I know so many people that overthink it. However, there are people also that continue to fire and they don't course correct at all. They continue to make the same types of mistakes over and over and over. So just pay attention to where you're at, be in the present. Don't worry about the past. There's nothing you can do about the past. Worry about now. And if you're course correcting, you will make a good future for yourself.